But what gives me courage is not just my relationship with God. What gives me courage to step forward every day is not just my relationship with Jesus. It's my relationship with you, my sisters and my brothers, who are absolutely willing to stand by my side and say, if you're frightened, take my hand. One of the proudest moments of my life was a couple months ago when my 32-year-old daughter sent me a poem that she had written to one of her friends who was leaving a relationship that had been sort of abusive, and she had been in it since she was like a young woman. And she was frightened. And Chris, one night when doing some of her work about it, and she might not call it prayer work still, you know how 32-year-olds can be, but she was doing her work, and she sat down and she wrote this to her friend. And this is us. People will look down on a dreamer. They may call her careless or irresponsible. You'll never make it, they'll tell her. Don't be a fool. If she fails, they'll laugh and say, I told you so. But when the dreamer succeeds, when the dreamer steps boldly into her new truth, then she becomes a hero. Then she becomes an example to others, someone who dared to try what others could not even imagine. And with confidence she wrote, I am a dreamer, and I know you want to be. Take my hand, and when it's scary, just squeeze it, for I will always be right beside you. Here, today, let us step boldly into our vision of what our lives can be. Let us step boldly into a vision of health and living in a magnificent body. Let us step boldly into an idea that our relationships can be loving and nurturing and supportive. Let us step boldly into an idea that we can experience the abundance of this marvelous universe. And let us step boldly and here, especially here, commit ourselves to the fulfillment of the teachings of that Jewish mystic that lived 2,000 years ago. I know it can be frightening, but let's take each other's hand. And when somebody asks, who do you think you are? Let us look them in the eye and say, I'm a Christ. God bless.